What's up, everybody? Trevor Sikkema here, welcoming you into another edition of the Draft Network's live mock draft series. Boy, do I have a treat for you this evening, especially for the fans of a lot of people who I know follow me and my guest. On with me tonight, I have the one and only Steven Cheah. He is the host of the Going Deep podcast and also what feels like the leader of the most faithful Bucks Twitter hive I've ever seen. Steven, my man, thank you so much for joining me.
Of course, buddy. Anything for you.
This is, this is what the people have been waiting for. I've been doing so many of these live mock draft shows. We've been going through so many different other teams, and everybody's just like, when are you going to do a Bucks one? When are you going to do a Bucks one? I've just been like, patience. We're going to find the time, and we're going to get the guest. And I think that we got the right time and the right guest here. So what Steven and I are going to do on this format, we're going to do dueling Bucks mock draft. So it's going to be a 7-rounder, full 7-rounders from each of us. What it's going to be is one of us will go first, run through an entire one. We'll chit chat, of course, back and forth. Some guys that are on the board, some trade offers that'll be there. And then the second person will go. And at the end of the show, we need you guys in the chat to vote for whose mock draft was best. That's how this show goes. So, all right. So, Steven, I actually have to ask you this first. You are what a lot of people would describe as a super fan. Like you are one of the most notable fans, followers of the Buccaneers. And I don't know if you know this, but they happened to win the Super Bowl this year. So tell me what that was like just from your seat, getting to watch the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You know as well as I do, a team that just could not win for so long. Finally, not only win, but win it all.
It was nice to have, because I think, you and I have been fans for the team for a while. I mean, you're obviously covering the team like professionally, but this was always a team that took a lot of defending on Twitter because we knew the pieces were pretty good. You knew that immediately, like Vita Vea was good, Devin White was good, like Carlton Davis was good. Like they had good players, but there were just some inconsistencies. It's very easy to point to Jameis Winston as, the reason. I'm not going to put all the blame on him. Certainly he deserves some of it, but overall as an organization, even the guys that, won this year and that had been there for a while, like Mike Evans and Camp Brate, Golston, Levante David, just admitted like they didn't know how to win. Like in the NFL, it is a totally different animal and they weren't set up for that. So Tom Brady, great player on the field, but maybe the most valuable thing he brought was just the experience and like that confidence with knowing that this team could win because they had a lot of tough situations. I mean, we talk about the Green Bay game, the NFC Championship game is slipping away from them. They got, 3rd and 4, making big plays. They're getting stops towards the end of the game. The Saints game, they're losing that game before Antoine Winfield Jr. forces the fumble. So a lot of situations that just this team was very resilient. And I think more so than his, 40-something touchdown passes, that's what Tom Brady brought to this team.
No, I 100% agree with you. I mean, it was always something, right? And it just always felt like the Bucks had talent over the last 5 years, but it was either not the right coaches in the right place or didn't have the right veterans there or just like didn't have the right rookie performances. The quarterback situation could get figured out. It was always something that was holding the Buccaneers back. And it was cool, even from an outsider's perspective, to watch it all come together this past season. And man, you talk about what an addition Tom Brady was. Of course, everybody in the chat would agree with this and say this, adding the greatest player of all time to your team. Yeah, never a bad thing. But if you went back and you watched that Washington game, the very first game that they played in the playoffs, there were a bunch. That was the game that Chris Godwin dropped like 4, 5, 6 pat, like something crazy. It was just everybody had those playoff jitters because none of them had ever been there before. Like none of them. And that game felt like Tom quite literally willed them to win that first game. And that propelled them to a lot of other wins that came after that.
So as a fan of that team, that game was close.
Yes.
So and we had not won a playoff game since the Super Bowl in January of 2003.
Right.
I was not nervous that game, minus like one drive. Like not nervous at all because you knew that this team Tom Brady's not losing to Taylor Heineke. Like, there's just a few
Right.
things that are certain, and that's one of them. So
he's not putting that on his resume. No.
Yeah, like that just wasn't happening. Like, yeah, he didn't play well in the playoffs against the Titans last year, but you know what? Like, this team, I've been saying this all year about this team. Don't be surprised they get off to a slow start. They weren't built for September or October or November. This team was built for December, January, and hopefully February, and it was absolutely proved true.
I actually thought that this wasn't the year. Like I've been on record saying that because of what you just said, the slow start. I thought that 2021 was going to be the year that they all kind of like learned to work with each other, figured things out. I knew that the pandemic was going to make it even harder because lack of training camp, lack of preseason, all that. So I was like, I don't think this is the year for them. I thought that 2022 would really be the year that they'd go after it, and here we are. They kind of jumped the shark a little bit early. Now they're defending Super Bowl champions, and I think that they might be even more poised this year to make a run than they were last year. So that tells you just how dangerous they were. But adding to this team is what we are doing here tonight. We're trying to make a Super Bowl team, a team that has everything, brought everybody back. We're trying to make them even better. So, Steven, I will leave it up to you. Do you want me to go first for the mock, or do you want to go first for the mock?
So let me get this point of clarification out.
Yes.
Hypothetically, great minds can think alike.
Sure.
Is it possible that we can have the same player, or is it one or the other?
No. So what will happen is I will run through, or whoever's going first is going to run through an entire 7-round mock. So obviously you're only picking for the Bucs selections, and we're simming the rest. Then the other person will start another brand new mock. So, like, for example, if I draft Najee Harris at 32, and Najee, you also want to draft Najee Harris at 32, you can absolutely do that. So you can draft the same kind of players. It's not like, oh, if the first one takes one, then the other one can't take it.
Okay, let's have you go first. Let me see how it's done, and then I'll try and maybe make some improvement.
All right, we're I'm warm. I've been doing enough mock drafts. I just had the mock draft Monday come out. Okay, so let's start this one off. We will all trades are included. So if you get a trade from some team that's calling for you, you can accept if you want. You can move all around the draft. Rob, I'll have you start it, though, because, we got a while till the first pick.
There's no better selection than 32. That's the goal every season. Nothing
better than seeing all of these team icons just go past you before you even have your first selection here. There's nothing quite like it. All right, I'm up first. Washington football team, still licking their wounds from the wild card loss. They're looking to make a deal. 2nd round pick, 3rd round pick. Okay, so I'm dropping. Man, that's a decent drop. I don't think I'm doing this. Jets. Okay, that's not bad. That's only a 2-step drop for a 6th round pick. No, I'm just gonna stick at 32. I don't need to move back. Neither of those trades. Yeah, neither of those trades really intrigue me. Okay, let's see here. Wow, Najee. Where did Najee go off the board? What do you go to the Dolphins? Jets?
23.
Wow, Jets fans are pissed. They don't want a running back at 23. I've learned that the hard way. Landon Dickerson went 24. Come on.
He's gonna go before us.
This mock is killing me. Okay, who we got on the board here? Wow, Creed Humphrey even went 31. Got Javonte Williams. Okay, that's still a good pick there. Jason Owe. Okay. Jamin Davis, don't really need him. Elijah Moore is interesting. Sammy Cosme. Terrace Marshall. Ooh, Levi Onwuzurike.
What are your thoughts on Owe? 0 sacks this year.
Yeah, so
in the first round.
I mean, I think that he is actually going to go in the first round. I just feel like NFL teams are going to gravitate towards the athleticism that not just he tested with, that he shows on the field. Like, he didn't get any sacks, and I think that that's more of a telltale sign of his like lack of moves, like not lack of nuance for the position, lack of knowing exactly what to do or exactly knowing like what to do before the snap happens. I think that's more of a, you give this guy time and he'll figure it out. I didn't think it was an inability to get by anybody. So I do think that he's still going to be a 1st round pick. I'm leaning toward Javonte here. I wish somebody else was just screaming at me, but I don't think with Landon Dickerson not here, I'll go with Javonte Williams. Let's go with Javonte here. I like Javonte.
But we just signed Giovanni Bernard.
I know. I know, but the way that I look at this with the running back room is Fournette's on a 1-year deal. Ronald Jones could be a free agent next year. you know what? Depending on how successful Giovanni Bernard is, you could even bring him and keep him around. Even if Javonte only plays kind of sparingly this season, he could still immediately become the starting running back for you next year. And I think that Javonte, honestly, would beat out Leonard Fournette for Leonard Fournette's carries. And this is a position that they really got to get right. So, like, at the end of the year, you just care about getting the right players out there. It's a Super Bowl team. So you could shoot. It could be Javonte Williams and Giovanni Bernard basically playing for you down the stretch, and I think that might be a good problem to have. Nobody was really jumping out to me there, but yeah. So I went Javonte at 32.
What's interesting is that Leonard Fournette is two different guys. He's Leonard Fournette and he's playoff Lenny.
And he's playoff Lenny.
Top 10 running back. Leonard Fournette is a guy John Ledyard takes screenshots of missing the hole weekly. So yeah, he's an interesting one.
I'm not letting the Leonard Fournette signing, and I'm not really letting Ronald Jones, who I think that they still don't want to lean on 100%, get in the way of me drafting a running back if I really like him. Okay, the Cincinnati Bengals have offered me a 3rd and a 7th. No, I'm not going to do that one, Rob. What's the other one here? I don't think I'm going to do a deal. They want me to move back 79. Where's my pick? Can you scroll down? Oh, actually, I need to scroll down a little bit. 64. No, I'm not doing this one either. Keep me. I'm staying at 64.
The luxury of the Bucs here is like they don't have that many holes. So like to move down, it's going to take like honestly, I'd be really inclined to move down or give my pick away if it was for a 2022 pick.
Right. I think that there's a lot of there's a lot of good reasons to move down for that as well. Man, Brady Christensen's there. Ooh, I like Brady. This might be a weird draft if I go with him, but yeah, I don't think they need Javon Holland. Can I see interior offensive lineman?
That's what it's all about.
Oh, Quinn Miners is there. Oh man, that's a good pick too.
He's a small school guy. I feel like he's probably destined to be in Tampa.
I know he's gonna be right up Jason Light's alley.
Jason Light sees the power belly and is like, all right, like that's my guy.
Yeah,
dominated the Senior Bowl.
You're right.
But like his tape's not great. He didn't play this past year. So
right.
Like,
well, you know, with him playing center at the Senior Bowl, he taught himself how to snap. Like he'd never played center before. He kind of just learned how to play center because he was bored because he didn't have a season. So I think that he's got that left guard, right guard, center versatility for you. He can truly be that next man in. And I also think that's really important for a Super Bowl kind of team because even though they don't need him to start right away, he could come in if one of those guys gets hurt. And also, Ryan Jensen is a free agent next year. Alex Kappa is a free agent next year. So if you don't have the money to pay both of them, you might be able to slide Quinn Miners into one of those starting spots. This is our scouting report for him right here. What about interior defensive lineman? Can I see that one, Rob? IDL. Oh man.
I mean, overall, I think like a lot of people talk about. I mean, Alex Kappa's a free agent. He played pretty well. I think I saw a stat that he was like the number one like efficiency player as far as like salary to actual like play on the field, which makes sense. But a lot, Ryan Jensen is in the last year of his deal. I can't imagine that guy not being back next year. If Tom Brady is the quarterback, and I know Tom Brady has to be in like a more athletic stance, he's called, because Ryan Jensen maybe is not the most accurate snapper, right, but he's a really good blocker and protector.
No, he is
just like the enforcer. I can't imagine this is his last season in Tampa. I just can't see it.
Let me see wide receiver. Unless there's a stud that fell to me, I think I'm gonna go with Quinn Miners. No, I don't love it. Give me Quinn Miners. Let's take Quinn Miners here at the end of the second round. Man, this draft is very different. I don't think I have a lot of interior offensive line or offensive line options really at all. Washington wants me to trade up. What do they want me to give? 4th, 5th. Oh, and a 7th. Ooh, boy. Oh, I think I'm going to do this actually. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I don't need those picks later. Give me this trade. Yeah. I'll take this trade for sure. All right. So now I'm back on the clock. Oh, Tommy Tungia is still there. Man, he's just such a great football player. I really like him. Let me see edge rusher, Rob, if you don't mind. Please.
Where do you feel like the biggest needs for this team is right now?
I suppose interior defensive line, if they could get a good pass rushing interior defensive lineman, which I'm going to take Peyton Turner here because he's a very unique kind of edge rusher who could also give you a lot of inside versatility. I'm going to draft Peyton Turner here. Rob's going to zoom in on his scouting report a little bit. I mean, he could play all over for you. His weight's fluctuated from like 290 to 270. He's played 3 tech. He's played 4i. He's played 5 tech. Like, he's played all kinds of stuff. And again, like going back to the Quinn Miners pick, if you get a rotational guy that you could just throw in there and have success, I feel like that's important. And you just do that in the trenches. That's nice. We got, I can't remember who wrote the scouting report, but Turner best suited to play 4-3. Oh, Joe did. Joe wrote this one. I like Peyton Turner. So we're gonna draft him here. This is a good trade up to me. You asking what the biggest needs for this team is. Again, I think that pass rushing interior defensive linemen's probably their biggest need because you don't know what the long term is with Sue, but
I mean, it's a 1-year deal. I'd be surprised if he was more than this season.
I agree, but there's also not a ton of really good pass rushing interior defensive linemen in this class, so you don't just want to like force it for that reason. Mm-hmm. Wide receiver could be a need if you wanted like more of a slot guy, but that also depends on how much you believe in Tyler Johnson, because Tyler Johnson could very well be that slot player if you wanted him to be, and he's still on the roster.
Mm-hmm.
Baltimore Ravens, what do they want? 4th and a 5th for a 4th and a 6th. Oh, no, this didn't want me to trade back. No, absolutely not. No, I'm not doing that. No, I'm sticking here. Sticking at 24. Let me see interior defensive lineman now. Oh, come on. Give me a steal. Give me a steal. Man. God, this draft is not dropping for me. Oh, Cam Sample was right there. I think I might take Osa Odigizua for him. No, I'm not going to take Trask, Rob. I don't think Trask is a good Arians quarterback. I do not think he will be interested in Kyle Trask at all whatsoever. There's my take on it. Yeah, give me Osa Odigizua. I'm going to take Odigizua. I think that he probably gives you the higher ceiling as a pass rusher with the guys who are left. So I wanted to get an interior defensive lineman at some point. Round 4 feels fine. I probably should have gotten one earlier, but this has actually been a very challenging board for me. I'm just trying to pick the guys who have the biggest positional value at this point. Round 5. How many picks do we have left actually? Because I did a little trade. Yeah, let's see. This is okay. So I only have 1 6th-round pick left. All right, so we're coming up on it. Got to make it count. Probably going to be an offensive weapon. I'll make Bruce Arians happy. I'll give him more of an offensive weapon. Oh, man. They're flying off the board, though. Oh, Shi Smith, please still be there. Please still be there. Don't do it. Don't take it from me. Don't do it. Come on. Give me one break this mock draft. Just give me one break. Oh, we're so close. Please. Mock machine. I've devoted so much time to you. Yes! Let's go, baby. We're taking Shi Smith, the wide receiver from South Carolina. Give me the playmakers. I like Shi a lot. I felt like he was in the Brian Edwards camp of last year where it was like,
what happened to Brian Edwards? Brian Edwards got so much hype. He was going to be, potential rookie of the year guy, like a 3rd-round pick out of South Carolina. He beat up Tyrell Williams in camp. What happened?
Give it time, Steven. They're just rookies. No, he was hurt. He was banged up a bunch, which was also his problem at South Carolina. So that's not very good. He had a lot of injuries that he dealt with in South Carolina, and then his first year with the Raiders also had a bunch of injuries. And so there were a couple of times he flashed when he played, but he's got to stay on the field, man. I mean, he's just got to stay healthy. So here we go. This is my mock draft. You get a look at this before we get a look at Stevens. I took Javonte Williams at 32, Quinn Miners at 64, Peyton Turner, a little trade up, took him at 47. Got Osa Odigizua at 124, and then Shi Smith, the wide receiver out of South Carolina, I was saying, held back big time by his lack of quarterback help while at South Carolina, but very athletic wide receiver. I think you can play him inside and out. I think he'd be a great slot option for you. It's just giving you more weapons, so more stuff in the middle, more to rely on. There you go, folks. That is not the Bucs mock that I thought that I was going to have. That was not the way the board normally falls for the Bucs. So I'm very interested to see how it's going to fall for Steven here. So ready to go, Rob?
Oh yeah.
Let's roll with it. Is there a guy that you are just like wanting 100% them to take at the back end of the first round? Is there a guy that you just like if you were making the big board is like number one for you? Got to take him.
He's not going to be there, but like the Joker from Notre Dame, like
Oh
Jeremiah
yeah,
will root for him out. Like imagine him and Todd Bowles' system. Like they've tried with
that'd be
like
hilarious.
trade offers. No, I'm not moving back 6 spots for a 6th.
Yeah, that's terrible value.
5
spots
same
for a
thing.
6th?
Nope, decline.
Yeah. Cowboys. Ooh, give me the extra third. 12 picks, extra third.
Can I see who's on the board at this time?
You can, yeah. We can do a little. No, you can do a little cheat here, a little counter offer. Hide the counter. Oh, you got the board, you son of a gun.
Ooh, Farley's on the board.
Look at this board. What is this?
What is this? I'm not gonna take Dickerson. Like I like him, but like the best ability is availability. I mean, 3 season-ending injuries. No, I'm gonna stick and take Farley. You can't not take Farley. His medical's checked out. That's my guy.
Okay, all right. I love it, dude. When Farley was healthy, he was a top 10 player for me in the class.
Oh,
like
yeah.
I love this tape. Love this tape there.
If he, I mean, he opted out this year. If he had the back surgery in September and he got to do off-season stuff or even like October, like he would be a top 15 guy.
No, I'm totally with you. All right, I've never seen Caleb Farley.
Here.
I've never seen Caleb Farley to the Bucs, and I mean, I love the thought of it. Yeah, they got some good corners now, but you can never have too many good cover corners. So
you didn't read my mock draft 5.0, Caleb Farley the Bucs.
Wow, yep. Look at him calling me out. I mean, he's right.
All right, a third, a fourth, 2 7s, no way. A third and a fourth. Oh, but I'm also giving up a fourth. Okay, yeah. no thanks. A third and a fourth. To move down 1 spot.
And they want you to go up 7? That's barely even a trade. What is this?
Yeah. I'm going to decline that just because I don't want it to be confusing on the board when we have different picks and it showed that I took a weird deal.
Yeah.
We got Joseph Asai.
Oh, my
and
God. Come on.
So here, this is actually a very interesting one because I like both Asai and Boogie Basham. Boogie Basham's a heavier guy. Like he could theoretically play like a 5 technique like Will Golston role.
Oh, totally. Yeah, absolutely.
He's interesting. Like, his best fit is like a 4-3N, which we're seeing in the scouting report right now. Yeah. But like for our defense, he's interesting. He could play, on if we're talking about like third down, like rush packages, he's a guy that maybe not year 1, but like could eventually like kick inside and do like a JPP type thing. Yeah. This is a tough one. So I picked Farley first round.
You've got good options here, man. I mean, I think the Basham's. Yeah, I think Basham it would be a good pick.
I have a lot to go. So I really like Asai too.
Either guy honestly would be awesome.
Yeah, I know. He projects really well, and he made a lot of like big plays. Like I think he intercepted Burrow even. Raw and pass coverage.
You don't need pass coverage.
When you look at so the thing you don't want to do is like draft for need, but if there's a tiebreaker, JPP has 1 year left. Shaq Barrett's there for the long haul. But then when you look inside, if you look at a guy who could play outside, like Boogie Basham, I guess he's kind of similar to like Anthony Nelson in that way, because Anthony Nelson's big enough where he could put on a little weight and kick inside to that 5 tech. I'm gonna go with my gut, Boogie Basham.
Yeah, I think that's the best. I think that's the better Bucs pick. I think, like, just for how it seems Todd Bowles likes to keep his defensive linemen pretty multiple and where they align. I mean, like Osai can probably do it too, but Basham's really experienced. He's a veteran player. He's had a lot of starts under his belt, and like you said, like you can kick him inside. He can comfortably do that. So, all right, you got another trade offer here. Dang.
4 to 7th. Nah.
Broncos trying to unload those 7th round picks on you.
Yeah, no thanks.
Calm down, John Elway. No, it's actually George Payton now.
Davis Mills is available. Oh, and Kenneth Gainwell, who I like a lot.
This is absolute. This is collusion. I don't know who you talked to rig the machine before, but
so this is an interesting one. This is an interesting one because, like, yeah, Kenneth Gainwell is a good insurance policy for this year with upside. So he could be the Gio Bernard insurance policy, but he could also like technically beat out Gio Bernard. I don't think he will because Gio is just so good in like pass protection. But we're like the thing that the 2021 Bucs team is hinged on is if Gio Bernard gets hurt, we have no pass catchers again.
This is very true. Yes.
Keyshawn Vaughn, apparently they liked what they saw behind the scenes, and he did have a really good game in Detroit where he got to play because of the blowout. And apparently Arian said he came on like gangbusters towards the end of last year. But now if I draft Kenneth Gainwell, is he playing special teams? They do need special teams help because Ryan Smith is not with them anymore. So Davis Mills is just so intriguing. 5-star guy coming out of high school, hasn't stayed healthy. California guy. Brady could probably, help bring him along. You always want to have an eye to the future, but we are all in. You know what? Davis Mills. You know why? Because are they paying Blaine Gabbert? Like, it's just going to free up money.
Right.
You need a running back. You can take him either later in the draft or next round. I like Gainwell a lot, but
yeah,
you got to invest a little bit in the future. And I feel like a backup quarterback, even like a good one, they'll probably work something out with Blaine. Greenberg's doing some nutty things with the salary cap with the voidable years, but
right.
And I know they all like Blaine, but let's go Davis Mills.
I wonder what they're going to do because the big question is, does Tampa draft a quarterback or should Tampa draft a quarterback?
They have one quarterback under contract right now.
Right, and greatest quarterback of all time, just in case anybody's wondering. Right, so the thing with me, it's a back and forth because no, okay. It's a back and forth with me because I do truly see both sides of the coin. Not to be a total cop-out answer, but you could definitely get somebody in the wings behind Tom Brady to learn behind him for the next couple of years. That's not Ryan Griffin, right? Like Ryan Griffin has just been the backup in Tampa for the longest time.
But
I mean, right. And it's just they've clearly never trusted Ryan Griffin to even like potentially be the starter. And so you kind of have to get somebody who maybe one day you will trust for that. Now, on the flip side of that, you're not going to draft a quarterback super early, like round 2 or 3, because you're probably going to bring back Blaine Gabbert, because if Tom Brady has to miss a couple of games for, I don't know, if say like a foot injury, they're not going to throw a rookie out there. They're just not, they're not going to do it. This season is too important for them to go do that. So then at that point, okay, are you not drafting a quarterback until the 4th round or later? And if that's the case, why are you doing it at all? There's a good chance that they're not good. I mean, people can point to all sorts of quarterbacks, Tom Brady being one of them that was drafted on day 3 who was able to pan out, but there are many, 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 many more examples of day 3 quarterbacks that did not work out. So it's kind of a whirlwind, but you getting Davis Mills in the 3rd round, I don't hate it, especially because your first 2 picks I think were home runs. But yeah, I mean, it makes for a very interesting draft.
Yeah, this is a tough one now because I think actually, Rob, can I see wide receivers and then running backs?
Wow, he's going.
All right, so Demetric Felton is on the board. He's at 182 here. Our next pick is going to be 176. I like Demetric Felton a lot as a guy who can be kind of both. Potentially play special teams. He's a smaller guy. He's like 5'8", 5'9". He's like 190 pounds.
I think he could do a little bit of both.
Can I see? So that was okay.
That was running back, or that was wide receiver.
Can I see receivers one more time, and then maybe go down a little bit? I just want to see my options. All right, so there's a guy I like here. Okay, I'm gonna do that. So let's go Demetric Felton.
I like this pick.
It's just this is like versatility. So this is gonna like is Jaden Mickens going to be back with the team? Like they don't have like a punt returner. Demetric Felton can do that. And then he's also kind of your poor man's Kenneth Gainwell as far as, he's going to be the backup to Gio Bernard as far as like third downs. We need a guy that can catch. He has experience at receiver and running back. Smaller guy, again, he's like sub 200 pounds, but he's a jack of all trades, and maybe he can contribute on special teams too. So let's go with him.
All right. Now, I mean, I like that pick as well. I think, again, there's a lot of versatility there. I think Arians likes that in a lot of his players. He could fill a lot of different roles. It makes sense as an early day 3 pick here for this team. You're up again, round 5, 176. Here we are.
Okay. You scrolled. Ooh, Jonathan Cooper is there. He's an interesting one. He's like an older guy. I think he's definitely above 23. I'm not sure that he's 24 yet, but I think he's like a 5-year guy. He looked nice like in Senior Bowl practices. What round are we in? We're in the
fifth. We're in the 5th round. Yeah,
5th round right now. I'm just a little bit worried that a guy I want is gonna not be there. So Jonathan Cooper, so we'd put him on we would put him at edge. We already got
Boogie already.
We got Boogie. I kind of want to
This is a nice draft, actually. This is a really nice draft.
Yeah.
He's just so stressed about this pick. Yeah.
Well, so there's one guy that I'm targeting. I mean, I'm assuming the computer's not listening. I want Jalen Darden out of North Texas, but I'm wondering if he's gonna be available. I saw he was like 191 or something like that, or 190.
When's the next pick?
Next pick after this is 217. So take a little risk there.
Yeah, that'd be cutting it close.
Yeah, I don't want to miss out on my guy, and I already got an edge guy. So let's go Jalen Darden out of North Texas.
Nice. Another player who I think gives you a lot of value on special teams. He's
Yep.
He's a really nice yards after catch guy. He can give you a lot in special teams as well. That's what you're looking for with these kind of like mid to late day 3 players. If he's going to make the roster, he's got all the tools to do it, I think.
Yeah, and I think he can make the roster. He is a smaller guy, but he's like a speed guy, and Arians has had that like in Arizona.
Yeah.
Another thing that kind of gives me confidence is that I heard Jamar Chase, I think it was the Move the Sticks podcast, and he was training with a bunch of receivers, and they asked him like, who's the most impressive guy? And he said, he's like, I'm not even sure the guy's name. He's like, but we call him JD, the guy from North Texas. That's Jalen Darden.
I'm not even sure of the guy's name.
He's like, I don't know. He's like, we call him JD. He's like, I'm not sure what his actual name is, but I mean, if Jamar Chase, the like pretty clear cut number 1 receiver,
right? Yeah, that's
guy that he's training with.
Still,
Jalen Darden, who, numbers wise, I mean, he had 19 touchdowns last year, at almost 1,200 yards, averaged like 16 yards a catch.
Nuts.
He's a guy that, obviously North Texas is not playing, the same schedule as LSU, but let's go with Jalen Darden there. And then
now you're up in round 6, 217.
217. All right. So we got a receiver, we got a running back. So, these are kind of, need plays. So I'd look for, interior offensive line and like a defensive tackle. Those are probably the needs that I would point to. And at this point, we're talking about guys that legitimately have a pretty good chance to not make the team just based on who this team is bringing back. So any like high upside guys too, like anyone that's fallen for injury or something like that, we're able to take flyers now pretty healthily in the 6th round.
I'd like the 2 guys that I like at interior defensive line from this group, Darius Stills and Jordan Scott from Oregon. I know we got him way down there in the rankings, but like Jordan Scott's
is he like the 3 like
he's the bowling ball dude? Yes.
Yeah. All right, let's go with him. I know we just re-signed Steve McClendon, but like I think he's older than Sue. So let's go with Jordan Scott.
Okay. No, I mean Jordan Scott will bring you the beef. And I watched a couple of Oregon games that he popped, and I was like, you know what? I'm actually about this dude. So he tends to be my like late round defensive lineman that I typically go with. So it's him going to you actually makes me very happy here.
Nice.
Here you go. 251. What is it? 6 picks away? Yeah, 6 picks away from Mr. Irrelevant.
Yes, we've had Mr. Irrelevant, which is awesome. Let's look interior offensive line. Alex Kappa is a free agent, as is Aaron Stinney, who we just brought back on a 1-year deal.
Man, I don't recognize any of these dudes. I haven't watched any of these players.
Yeah. Tough. All right, let's go with the top. Let's go with the top of the rank. Well, can we just see a quick scouting report on Sage Surratt?
Oh, hell yeah, baby!
Is a wide receiver. No, sorry.
I love Sage. Sage is one of my favorite prospects in this draft. I mean, he is a contested catch dude. Like, he is throw it up, basketball background. He goes up, he'll moss you. He just doesn't have a lot of separation. Like, everything is going to be contested catches. But like, we've seen that before. I mean, you look at a player like, yeah, right. Well, that's kind of a different end of the spectrum. But like a player like Auden Tate from Florida State, who now is kind of like coming on with Cincinnati Bengals. And it's like, oh, Auden Tate can't separate. Yeah, but he's a monster at contested catches. So like, it's fine. The problem is when you can't separate and you also suck at contested catching. Like, that's when you have a problem. But if you can be a contested catch guy, then I think that, I think you can make that work in the NFL. Rob, Steven was saying to go back to interior offensive line. He said that he thinks that's where we got to go here.
Yeah.
Let me think. I don't think I recognize any of these dudes. If
that's okay. Let's go with the highest rated interior offensive line. I mean, we're in the 300s. That's okay.
There you go.
This is just purely a depth
Paul
play.
Gradden, baby. Big UCLA guy. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's trust the scouting staff. All right, folks, here we go. This is Steven's Bucks mock draft. Caleb Farley, Carlos Basham, Davis Mills, Demetric Felton, Jalen Darden, Jordan Scott, and then Paul Gradden. Man, I need everybody in the chat to vote for who won. Who had the better mock draft? Was it me or was it Steven? Everybody give us your votes in the chat right now. I think this is going to be
Let's Hydronoid 54.
Yeah, he's all about your mock draft. Rob, can you go over to the other tab? I don't know if you have that flexibility. If you don't, then I'm sorry that I just called you out on the spot. Okay, here is mine. This is my draft. Man, my draft is good.
I like your draft too. Like, Quinn Miners is like a great pick, like insurance wise, because Alex Kappa, God bless him, but he has gone down twice. Aaron Stinney has played well, so that is like a good backup. But Ali Marpet also missed a game last year. So, and again, Ryan Jensen contract year. I'm hoping he'll be back, but you never know. Quinn Miners, Wisconsin Whitewater. D3 guy, that's got Jason Light written all over it.
Truly does. The board did not do me any favors on my mock draft. I think I'd be voting for Steven's mock too. I mean, like, just the players that he was.
Caleb Farley, 32 also.
Right. I mean, like, the way that he was able to get some of those steel players there at each of those spots, he truly capitalized on best player available. And you know what? That's what the draft is all about. That's why we had Steven on. All right, Rob, you can pull the machine off. I think we can cut the vote in here because I think I've only got like 3 votes. I appreciate you guys out there voting for me. Thank you. Getting some love on my own show. Darko, I picked. He's saying show us Trevor's picks. I got here late. I picked Javonte Williams, Quinn Miners, Peyton Turner, Osa Odigizua, and Shai Smith. Those were my 5 picks because I moved around a little bit. So those are my 5. And Steven had a lot more picks, but he also had some really great selections as well. But like, look, folks, that's why I had to have Steven on, because I knew that he'd give me a run for my money. And I knew that when he came on the clock, he'd be looking to make the best decision for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Steven, I appreciate you taking the time, man, having some fun with me, talking some Buccaneers and doing a little mock drafting with me tonight.
Of course, buddy. Hopefully, Jason, John Spytek, those guys taking notes, Mike Beal. I mean, I think we win with both of these drafts.
Look, if all I'm saying is that if Jason ever wants any consulting, then you and we could put our heads together and we could help him out a little bit. Just if he wants some, look, Jason's been nailing the draft last couple of years, but hey, can never get too many smart voices in the room. And I think that, I think that we've got some too smart voices here, man. Steven, keep killing it on all your coverage, not just of the Buccaneers, but the NFL in general. You do so many great interviews on your podcast. You cover the draft so well. Everybody, please follow Steven if you are not already. He's a very entertaining follow. He'll also make you a smarter football fan. Steven, appreciate you joining me, man.
Appreciate it, buddy. All right.
All right. We are going to have quite the guest for you in our next live mock. And we only got a couple more left to go because, guys, draft, it's 2 weeks away. 2 weeks from tonight, we're going to be starting with night 1 of the NFL draft. That's, whoo! We almost made it. We got a couple more live mock drafts to go. The next one coming to you on Sunday. I got a great guest cooking. So make sure that you are around 8 p.m. on Sunday evening for it. We'll see you guys then.